You know, these are one times I wish I had a channel avatar or something like that, but you're gonna have to deal with Ruby for now because I can't draw and I don't have any money for a commission. So, yay! Q&A with Kaizou #2. I actually wasn't expecting to do a #2, but I felt like, why not? I haven't done a Q&A with Kaizou in like 3 months. So there you go. So now I got a good amount of questions here. I will, I have one commenter give me a lot of questions, but unfortunately I won't be able to answer all of them in this one video. I don't want the video to go way longer than it has, so I will be putting questions off to more Q&A with Kaizou's, if I make some more in the future. I will make those different videos because I don't want to just stuff all on in this video, make it super long. And if you guys have any questions, please put it in this video. If your questions haven't been answered already, I'll probably answer about maybe 4 questions or 5, maybe 6, just really short ones. And if you guys have any questions, I will put them in the comments or put them in my community tab, and then I'll just hold them on to the next video. So, and I'll also keep everybody's names discreet. I like to keep everybody's privacy, just quiet. So anonymous, but I mean, I also like that feeling when people give me a question and they're like, "Oh, that was my question. That was my question." I don't know. I like that feeling. It's just funny to me. So anyway, first question: how did you discover BlazBlue? Oh, baby. Okay. I remember. There was this video that was posted by a channel that I knew like way back. I still sub to the channel, but like it was one of the very first YouTube channels I actually got invested to. It was called the Artark Flame, or his name now is ARCSYS. He was this countdown YouTuber, and upon while doing countdowns, he also did like these little video countdowns where like, oh, these are my top favorite video game tracks and my top favorite disturbing video game tracks, and et cetera, et cetera. So he used to post these songs about what he liked, and the first time I saw anything related to BlazBlue was that very first Awakening to Chaos video I saw. It had like a robot girl on it, which was new, and I was like, who the hell is this? She looks cool. And so I clicked on the video, listened to the song, and I was like, man, this song sounds sick as hell. And then like, I didn't think too much about it. Funny enough, my very first character I saw was new. I always thought it was Tao, but like, shit, trying to remember, like, going back to my mind, I was like, oh no, it was new, because that was the first video I saw. But I think I saw Tao before I saw new, but like on this little article talk about Tao and Felicia and, weird fighting game characters. But I think Awakening to Chaos was my very first true exposure to BlazBlue. So I did more research in the series. I actually found that old Tao and Felicia, Felicia for Darkstalkers. I found that old article, and I was like, man, it's a BlazBlue character, getting into the games. It was as simple as getting into the games, because then I realized the games played like Guilty Gear, and I used to play a lot of Guilty Gear back in the day. I still do now, I just don't play as much as I used to. And I was like, oh, this game looks like Guilty Gear. It feels like Guilty Gear. Even the soundtrack was by the dude who made Guilty Gear. I was like, oh man, I gotta get into this. Play this BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. Played it. It was fun. I think it was like around time like Continuum Ship was out, and I was like, man, I didn't have enough money for both, and I was like, well, which one? But I got lucky enough to buy both Continuum Ship and Calamity Trigger, and I was like, okay, which one do I play first? So I played Calamity Trigger first, loved it. I just remember playing the first time, I was so lost and everything. I was like, what is going on here? Why is everything looping? What's going on? Why is Ragnar constantly fighting this robot girl? What's happening? But no, it was pretty fun. That's how if it wasn't for that one video, if it wasn't for that Awakening to Chaos video, I would have never probably gotten the BlazBlue, because that's my first exposure to it. So yeah, that was that was how I discovered BlazBlue, through that one song, Awakening to Chaos. That was it. Alright, next question. Do you like roguelike RPGs? I'm not, I can play a dungeon crawler, but like as a roguelike RPG, I hadn't had much experience with them, and it depends on it, really. Like, I can't remember one off the top of my head, so I can't really say I necessarily like the series, not like the series, my bad, like the genre. But there are a couple I play. It's the top of my head. I can't remember. If I can't remember right now, I probably didn't think too much on them to play them. But I guess I would say maybe I like them. I don't know. It's been so long, man. It's been so long since I actually touched a roguelike RPG, because this is not something I'm really into all that much. Like, I like my RPGs more standard, your standard turn-based, your standard action, and stuff like that. I mean, I'll play anything, honestly. I don't care, like, as long as it's not a sports game, but, like, I'll play anything. But I mostly play RPGs and fighting games, though, and, the occasional platformer, puzzle game, dating sim, et cetera, et cetera. I don't own a dating sim way. I wish I did. But, yeah, that's the question. The answer, I guess, maybe. I can't give a direct answer. All right, next question. What are your favorite and hated things about BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, Persona, and Under Night? BlazBlue's tough because it's hard for me to find things I hate. Like I like the majority of BlazBlue. Don't get me wrong. I guess one thing I like about BlazBlue is just, I guess variety is one thing. Like, it's not like the variety of the characters is what I like. Because every character plays differently, every character feels differently, except, if you want, make a case for Lambda and New, it breaks that trend there. But, like, I guess personality-wise and character-wise, every character feels distinct, and I like that. I like when all the characters, feel so different that you can easily identify them. I like that. Even characters like New and Lambda at least have different personalities, so you can still identify them between each other, even if they look the same. Most hated thing about BlazBlue? The most hated thing about BlazBlue is just the fact that half the story shit is out of, like the story bits that I want to see is out of our hands, though I can't necessarily say that's a thing on BlazBlue's part more than just ARCSYS' fault. But I think the story of the BlazBlue is the one thing I hate the most. Now, don't get me wrong, I love BlazBlue Story, but I think it's the one thing I hate and love. Like, the fact that the BlazBlue Story is big enough, the fact that it could split off into manga, light novels, and what have you, and if some of them aren't even translated over into the story or even integrated well into the story, that's what I don't like, because there's so much gone and not enough integrated into the main story. So Guilty Gear, I love Guilty Gear's music. I think that's just I think that's just like a unanimous thing that everyone shares. Everyone likes Guilty Gear music. Like, if you don't like the Guilty Gear music, why even bother playing the game? Get out. Nah, but yeah, Guilty Gear's music is like the best thing about it. I mean, Guilty Gear's a great series. Don't get me wrong, great series. But yeah, the one thing I hate about Guilty Gear is like the random games that just aren't good. Guilty Gear Dust Strikers. Overture isn't terrible, but it's not a Guilty Gear game, man. You can slap as many Guilty Gear characters and music as one of this. That's not a Guilty Gear game. I'm not saying Guilty Gear has to be a fighting game all the time, but like the times they tried to go out of that didn't work out too well. Hell, even Guilty Gear Judgment wasn't bad, but Guilty Gear Judgment wasn't it had a lot of problems. Some of the enemies and boss encounters were terrible, and the way you unlock characters was dumb. Oh my god. Like, you got Guilty Gear X Advanced Edition, which is a fighting game, but it's a Game Boy fighting game, and I'm not saying it couldn't have worked, but it didn't work in Guilty Gear's favor. I mean, you can still pull off your shit, but good luck trying to pull off an insta-kill. Oh my god. Dude, you ever tried pulling off an insta-kill on the Guilty Gear X Advanced Edition? Holy shit. And there's like other side games and shit, like there's like Vast Edge, which is a goddamn pachinko game with story content. Freaking, what else? Shit. What else? I know there's more Guilty side. There's the manga, which, honestly, the manga is pretty inconsequential, and the manga isn't really, it's like, what Guilty Gear tries to do outside of fighting games don't really work well for it. I get experimentation, I get not trying to be limited to just playing, being a fighting game, but like, what Guilty Gear attempts doesn't work out too well, and it's like more of a side project. Hey, look what we can do with the Guilty Gear franchise, and it doesn't work out too well. It's like if BlazBlue tried to do a bunch of wacky side games, which it has. I mean, it has Beat Dead Spike, Clone Phantasma, BlazBlue Melee's Ballers, what the hell that game's called, like BlazBlue, like BLOO Blue. So yeah, I think Guilty Gear side games is the one thing I hate about it. It's like what they try to do doesn't work out too well. Honestly, freaking, let me go on a tangent for a bit. Why in the hell is Overture limited to Xbox 360? I know it's on Steam now, but why it wasn't originally Xbox 360 released? I don't know what they were planning, because there's no way in hell that was going to work out too well, especially since it's a Japanese game, but whatever. Anyway, Persona. I love Persona. I think Persona, games, what I like the most about it. But I like Persona 4. I think Persona 4 is one of my favorite video games ever, because it's the cast and the atmosphere of the series that make it feel so human to me, the cast of Persona 4 feels like I know these people IRL. Like, if I were ever to, like, if the cast were to be integrated from, like, the game into the real world, I feel like Persona 4s will feel more natural, because they feel like real human beings to me, you know? Like, and the town of Inaba feels like I never grew up in big towns. I mean, I was born in Chicago, but I never like grew up in like big towns. And I was always, you know, in more like not rural areas, but I was more like smaller urban areas, you know. And you know, people you would know are more you know, tight knit. So like I feel like because you're in a small town in Inaba with not much to do, you know, meeting these people is all like a mystery, which is like something I feel like that's something I could have been through in my life had I, you know, had the ability to go inside a TV and Personas and whatnot. But Persona 4's cast is my favorite. It's followed by 5 and then 3. Not that I hate 3, and not that I don't want to count Persona 1s and 2s, but I don't remember much about 1 and 2 to actually say anything about them. Both Persona 2 games, I don't have much to say about them. And 3's like, the casts are alright, but I find too many holes, you know, in the social links in their cast. And like I'm like, like Persona 3 is like not a bad game to me and by any means, but like some of the characters I just do not care about. Like, holy shit. Like the Gourmet King Nozomi, he can just, you can remove him entirely and no one would give a shit. Like, I feel like no one can defend that guy. And Persona 5, great cast, but like there's some characters I'm just not a big fan of, but you know, that's a different video for a different time. But yeah, I think like Persona 4, and my most hated thing about Persona, the current amount of crazy fans nowadays, like, I honestly can't think of anything, like, too crazy about the Persona games themselves. Because, like, I don't know. I can't find anything super negative. I mean, there could be some gameplay things, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But, like, I would say Persona 3, the fact that I can't control my party members is a problem. And, like, you know, you got Persona 3 Portable, which fixes that problem. But, like, it's just, I don't know, they take so much away from the original Persona 3 that I'm like, it's a good alternative, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, if I have to play it, just control a party member. But I think the most hated thing about Persona is the fact you can't control your party members in 3. That's my most hated thing. Yeah, Portable exists, but I don't want to play Portable all the time. I want to play the original Fez, you know? Under Night. Okay, my favorite thing about Under Night, the atmosphere. The atmosphere, that whole stage at night, battle at night thing is super cool, and I love the at night aesthetic. Like, especially like if you get like a big city with the lights and everything. Big cities at night is the sickest shit to me. I don't give a shit. Like, open world games need that kind of thing. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Like, I want to run around a big city at night, big skyscrapers, going inside stores, fighting creatures and enemies in the streets, stuff like that. I kill for that kind of thing. So the at night aesthetic is pretty cool. I like that. Most hated thing about Under Night, the story. Not that I hate the story, it's just like the presentation of the story. Like, Under Night's story mode is like, if you're not experienced with visual novels, it can, like, you know, kind of bore you. And even with experience with visual novels, I don't know, Under Night doesn't like offer anything like much pizzazz. It's like the bare minimum of a visual novel, and it's kind of boring, especially how like the characters are kind of portrayed. Like slogging through the story mode of Under Night, I'm glad it's there because I'm glad they have, like, you know, lore to it. But at the same time, like, I don't want to do this again. Like, it's a drag, especially you spend like up to 15 hours just trying to do it, and there's nothing in between to try to break the monotony. It's just straight. People complain about Guilty Gear's like story mode for not having any battles in it, but at least then you get to watch something. At least it looks pretty. You get to watch some pretty action going on, hear some cool music and whatnot. But Under Night is like BlazBlue's. Under Night is like BlazBlue's visual novels aspects stripped down to their bare minimum, while smashing Guilty Gear's inability to fight. You know, there's nothing in Under Night to break the monotony. It's just you put your controller down, you press X to listen to the next text dialogue, and that's it. It's super, super boring, and that's why I don't like playing Under Night's story mode ever again. What are the anime? Okay, next question. What are the animes you dislike? Okay, so I'm not the kind of person to be overly negative on shit. I mean, sometimes I will, but like, you know, I think Akame ga Kill is one anime that I still can't get over to this day. It has a great soundtrack. Tako Iwasaki is a great composer, but the Akame ga Kill's premise could be interesting, But like at the same time, it's like that whole battle royale, kill everyone off kind of thing I'm not a fan of. Like, when people just start dying left and right without any character to them, I start not caring myself. And like characters like okay, I'm trying to remember, like, let me remember off the cast off the top of my head. Tatsumi, Shiel, Chelsea, did I say Kame? Yeah, Kame, Mine, Leone, Lubbock, yeah, Lubbock, and that dude with the pompadour, I can't remember the name of. Like, Under Night, I'm gonna say Under Night. Akame got kills characters I just care nothing for, you know? Like, the only character I actually gave a damn about was like, oh yeah, not Jinda, I forgot about her. Anyway, the only character I gave a damn about was Akame, because like, but even then, she didn't even feel like the main character of her own manga. The name's after her, but yet Tatsumi is like the main character, essentially. And like, after Tatsumi kind of dies in the anime, they treat Akame like the main character, and it's too little too late. And then, like, they start killing characters left and right. I'm like, why, dude? Like, Shield, I didn't care for. I mean, the design was cool. I mean, you know, Busty Glasses character, but, like, she uses a giant pair of scissors, which is cool, but, like, I don't give a damn about her. Never did. Chelsea was just brought in just to kill off. Oh, yeah, Susan. I forgot about him, too. See, I keep forgetting characters until I remember them. Anyway, Chelsea sucked. Like, Chelsea, I think, like, the idea of Chelsea being introduced last minute as a character to Night Raid and then being killed off immediately after with no care to her whatsoever sucks to me, because like her biggest moment is getting beheaded and put on town as display as like, you know, she has lollipops. So what is it? What is her big death? Her head on a pike that looked like a lollipop. That's her biggest moment, and it's the funniest shit ever. Like, that's the only thing people remember Chelsea for. I see people get sad. I'm like, really? This shit's funny. I mean, yeah, you care for the character, go ahead. But, like, this shit's funny, dude. This shit's funny. That's her defining character moment. Tatsumi. I can't count Tatsumi as, like he's kind of, like, lame because he feels like the just generic main character. Honestly, I latch more to main characters because they're the character you're supposed to be focusing on the entire time. But Tatsumi really didn't feel any different, you know. He felt kind of bland, you know. I mean, he turned into a dragon in the manga, but like he gets to live and then have children with mine, and I'm like, he's a dragon, how is that even possible? Like, I could deal with them getting the hooking up, but like there's an anatomy thing we're having a problem with here, you know. That's the problem that I have with the ship. And characters like mine I don't care about because she's just a tsundere character who gets anime bullshit powers, which I like anime bullshit powers, but that's just like having her Tegu, aka Imperial Arms, based off like all my emotions and shit. Like, that's the most generic anime thing you think of, and it still doesn't make sense in the context of the story. You got characters like Leone who could have been cool, but they get killed off for dumb reason. Like, her getting shot in the gut and the... Okay, I don't even want to go on this long tangent here. Like, I've been at this for like 4 minutes now. Holy shit. The point is, like, characters like Leone gets to she dies off in the freaking anime by getting shot in the gut. Okay, fine, fair enough, she's dead, even though it's like a shitty last way of killing her. The manga has even a shittier way of killing her last minute. Like, she just dies in an alleyway after using up all her power for whatever reason. She got revenge and just dies. I'm like, okay, what the frick, dude? You just want to kill her last minute? It's a bullshit. Like, everyone wants to treat the Kami Got Killed manga like it's way better than the anime, but the manga is really, really not that better. It's longer. That's it, man. I think it's even more egregious than the anime, man. Like the anime is like a rushed adaptation, but like the manga is like just terrible. Like it just pulls out shit from whatever. I've been at this for 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been at this for too long. Point is, Kami Got Killed, not very good. I don't like Fairy Tail. I don't like shit. What else? Trying to remember. It's off the top of my head. Trying to remember. I don't like Kami Got Killed. I don't like Fairy Tail. I don't like the ARCSYS War. I think I just like that baity do not SAO is also anime I don't like. Yeah, I think that's it. That's for now. It's for it. I don't want to go on too long because I already went on this long ass tangent about Kami Got Killed, which I wasn't even trying to do. I am so sorry. So I only have enough time to answer one more question. That's my bad. I screwed up so badly. Waffles or okay, next question. Waffles or pancakes? Waffles. I remember one time my mom and dad would buy a lot of pancakes, right? They loved IHOP pancakes. And they would overdo it so much that I just don't like eating pancakes every time they brought them back. Waffles, I feel like they're timeless. Waffles, I can't not get sick of waffles to save my life. Like blueberry waffles, chocolate waffles, strawberry waffles, you know, what have you. You know, hell, waffles are perfect to me. Got the perfect shape, perfect design. Hell, you can put like syrup in there and it looks good instead of you put the syrup on the freaking pancakes and just slides off. No. Waffles, that shit holds in the syrup. I mean, I don't eat syrup with my waffles because, you know, my teeth, I didn't take care of my teeth too well. So, you know, that shit hurts. And I'm 20 years old. 23 years old. I should be taking care of myself better. Yeah, waffles. Waffles. I don't know if it was a joke question, but hell, it was a question nonetheless I wanted to answer. But yeah, I ran the 20 minutes, and that's my fault for talking about a comic got killed last minute. But don't worry, guys. I will answer the rest of your questions when I ever got time to. I'm not going to toss your questions away. But remember, if you want to ask me a question, just put it in the comment section below, or just put it on my community tab when I ask you a question again. But like, you know, put a question in down below if you want to ask me another one. So I'll see you all next time for the next Q&A with Kaizou. Peace, everyone. Have a great day. See you later.